Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another video that's a little bit different for the channel. This is top 10 worst Metallica songs. Now, I did a video like this previously a little while ago on the channel where I reacted to a video where it was picking the worst song from every Metallica album, and I reacted to that video, gave my 2 cents on the songs that were picked, which, like I said, were the worst songs, or the worst song from each album in order. This is just top 10 worst Metallica songs. And just like with that video, with this one, I am not critiquing or going after the person who actually made this video. Everyone has their own opinion. I'm here reacting to what is considered to this person the top 10 worst Metallica songs and giving my 2 cents on the songs, my opinion on the songs that were picked and whether I agree with it or not. But I'm not going after the individual who made the video because at the end of the day, everyone has a different opinion, especially when it comes to music. Music is very subjective. So we're going to dive into this. Now, I did have a friend of mine who's a Metallica fan who I asked him to watch this video so I kind of understand the formatting of it. He said that there is music played, so copyright, so we'll be muting quite a bit. But also, apparently there is like a description or like text pop up explaining why the song was picked. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to dive in and let's see what songs are picked. My only prediction, because I have no idea what songs are on here, obviously, no clue, no spoilers. I'm assuming a lot of songs from St.Anger are going to be on here, but we'll see. Let's dive in. So let's hit the play button, get ready for that mute. Let's see what the first song is here. Oh! Man Unkind. Okay, starting out. Not terrible, just bad because it's incredibly boring. The lyrics can be fun, but it drags due to its length. And don't even get me started on the solo. Okay, yeah, it is a weird song for sure. Like I said, I'll be pausing. I think I said that in the intro. Anyways, so yeah, it is a weird like vibe of a song in terms of like just the structure of it. But interesting start for sure. I wasn't expecting Man Unkind. Then again, it isn't too surprising because there are a lot of people that coming out of Hardwired to Self-Destruct thought this was one of the weaker tracks. So okay, all right, just keep it muted because I don't want to get copyrighted. Ooh, some kind of monster. Okay, all right. Did it really need to be this long? 2 minutes of a horrible intro. Ooh. The verses are actually good and has some chorus. Yeah, it's surprising because Some Kind of Monster is actually a pretty solid song from St.Anger. Like, in my opinion, if you look at the entirety of St.Anger, the album, to me, Some Kind of Monster is definitely one of the better tracks. But we're looking at the entire discography of Metallica and picking the 10 worst for this person, what they're doing here. So, yeah. All right, let's get back here and hit play. My friend didn't really explain, like, if, how much description there is of stuff. He just said, oh, pre-choruses are who are in the chorus is abomination. Wow, the bridge is the best part of the song. Okay, all right. The chorus is an abomination. I mean, there's, yeah, okay, that's fine. Interesting. Okay, Am I Savage? Okay, 3.3 out of 10. Immensely boring, but had some really cool riffs, like at the riff at 120 or 420. The verses are so weird and out of place, but the chorus is kind of catchy. Yeah, I always found this song to be very catchy for me, but I can see why. Because actually, I remember when the album came out in 2016, I was on Xbox, I believe, and a friend of mine who's a big Metallica fan too, and we were talking about the album and stuff, and I was like, yeah, Spit Out the Bone, and we got to this song, and he's like, yeah, I don't like that. And he's a guitar player, and he's like, yeah, I just don't like it. I just don't like the way the riff, which when they were creating the actual album itself, James even stated like the actual main riff itself. He said it's just such a weird pattern. So he's like, we got to create a whole song like that for it to make sense. And he was right about that because the whole Darkness Had a Sun. Okay. Okay. All right, how can a song be this outlandish unoriginal? The raspy vocals are weird, the lyrics are bad, and easily the worst solo they've ever written. Wow. Okay. All right. Look. It is repetitive as hell. And the riff is, yeah, I wish it was, I wish there was more going on in the song. Like, I see the point here. The main riff's all right, bad for 6 minutes straight. The refrain and bridge are the best parts. The outro is pretty terrible. Okay. Outro's pretty terrible. In my opinion, I really like the outro, especially when it goes to that, like, half-step kind of segment. Because when the solo switches to that part where everything starts to slow down in certain sections and picks up, that riff, and it picks up again at the end, that was really cool. They went back to that part. But yeah, the main riff is all about after 6 minutes. It does start to drag. I wish there was more going on in the track. 100% I do agree with that. I feel like the song definitely should have had more going. Anesthesia, are you kidding? Okay. Wow. I would have never guessed Anesthesia pulling teeth. Okay. I want to see his reasoning. The lack of instruments. That's the harsh reality. Ooh. No matter how basic or complex the composition is, it has to be good. Wow, dude. Okay. Okay. 4 minutes of pure noise and lack of instruments. Okay. I that is a huge hot take. Holy crap. Is there more? I'm blown away by this. I did not expect this at all. The first half is decent, but everything else feels out of place. I appreciate that it was done in one take, but it ain't my cup of tea. Yeah, I can tell. I did not expect Anesthesia at all. Holy. Okay. I was thinking too, like, I don't think there's going to be any songs from the first 5 albums on here. I was wrong. Anesthesia. Now I'm even more like curious about what the back half's going to be, because Anesthesia's here. Holy shit. Cure. Okay. Cure. Yeah, I can see that. Darkness Had a Sun. The song is so confusing. The main riff is okay. The bridge is again the best part, but that's it. Okay. Yeah, I think Cure is definitely a weird track for sure. It makes sense why they've never played it live, because it's a song that I just don't see a reason for them to pull out. I think the only way you pull out Cure at this point, because they are re-releasing, or not re-releasing, but they're releasing a remaster of Load, which is ridiculous because the album is pretty great sounding as it is. How much better could it really sound? Because when you even hear the remasters of what they've put out so far, when I'm recording this video versus the original release, there isn't really much of a difference. The only way I can see it is if they were playing like a show really promoting the Load release, like remaster release, and they decided to pull out some more Load tracks, and they eventually got to this point to play this song. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But that's just my opinion. Solo's pretty bad, and those vocals are just unbearable. The vocals are unbearable. All right. Dirty. Okay. You see the world. All right. One of the most overrated Metallica songs? Confusing, cringe, more. Overrated? Is Dirty Window considered a praised and loved Metallica song to be considered overrated? I'm asking that as a Metallica fan who's been around the Metallica fandom for a long time. I've never heard people say they love Dirty Window. Like a lot of people saying they love Dirty Window to the point where someone could consider it to be an overrated Metallica song. You could say, you know what, you could say it's an overrated Metallica song. I'm just throwing this out there. I think what you can consider like an overrated Metallica song is something like, say, like Fade to Black, or something like Welcome Home. Like songs that are really more well known from Metallica fans or in the fan base of metal. Dirty Window is a song you really don't ever hear anybody talking about unless they're a Metallica fan, and they're a big enough Metallica fan to even reference Dirty Window. Because there are fans of Metallica that don't even look past the first 5 records, hardly ever. So they probably don't even know Dirty Window is even a thing, right? So, interesting take in terms of the overratedness. But hey, maybe he considers that Clean Guitar is horrible. The lyrical concept was good, but it was, yeah. I think Dirty Wind is one of the better songs from St.Anger. Shoot Me Again. Okay. Shoot Me Again. I did it. Same case as the previous one. Good lyrical concept, but terrible executed. I've only listened to this song thing 5 times because of how awful it was. Interesting. Yeah, Shoot Me Again is one of those songs I think is a better track or better song off of, I guess that's the same thing, better song, better track, off of St.Anger. But it's one I've not listened to a lot of. Like, it's one of those ones where I'll listen to it, but I'd prefer, like, All Within My Hands, Dirty Window, Frantic, St.Anger, some of those songs over Shoot Me Again. I mean, yeah. Interesting. Like I said, I was expecting a lot of St.Anger, and I have been kind of right. Like the refrain, that's cool, but those pre-choruses are important. Well, yeah, there are some weird parts to Shoot Me Again. I agree. Like, there are some weird Slither. Okay, here, reload. Okay. Alright. I can see Slither. I can see that. Dreadfully horrible vocals. Why? Fair. I'm guessing number one's going to be a St.Anger track, but we'll see. Then again, once you throw Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth, I have no idea where we're going from there. But Slither, yeah, it's another song I think from Metallica's catalog we're never going to hear live. It's just, I don't think there's any way that there's no reason to bring it out at this point. The only time I think they would have actually played it is if it was actually played during the release of Reload. The intro is the worst in their discography and the lyrics are terrible. Okay. It's not a great song. The solo main riff are kind of cool and keep this from being a 0 out of 10. Okay. Fair. Poor Twisted Me? A 0 out of 10? Alright. Okay. It's completely boring. The vocals are abysmally abominable. The lyrics are awful. In combination with plain instruments make this a very infuriating listen. Okay. I disagree, but okay. Yeah, I honestly, personally, I would put Slither over Poor Twisted Me. Is there anything else he's gonna put here? Guess not. No. Try to change me. Look, Poor Twisted Me does have some weird vocal sound to it. But I mean, comparatively to some of the other tracks you've played, I get this song is definitely, to me, not the worst. But hey, if it's to you, I'm not gonna try to change it, you know? To each their own. Everyone has a different opinion. I'm still just blown away that Anesthesia Pulling Teeth was as a 3 out of 10. But you said that you expect like more instruments involved and that it needs to make sense for you. It's not your cup of tea. Okay. I'm not too surprised besides this pull, honestly, because even some of the tracks from Hardwired and Self-Destruct, I'm not surprised either because they are some of the weirder tracks off that record, so not surprised. But then again, I thought we would see more St.Anger, which maybe that's also a good thing that it wasn't just all St.Anger tracks, because there are people that literally go, top worst Metallica songs, and it's literally it's the entirety of St.Anger. Or if it go the further route where we get really deeper and like dive deeper into like Lulu, which isn't a Metallica record. Yes, they're involved, but it's more of a Lou Reed album, but still. And this was made after the release, obviously because we had Darkness and the Sun. So this was made after the release of 72 Seasons. So I wouldn't have been surprised one bit if we had another track from there. But if Darkness and the Sun, I think, makes sense to be put on here. Chasing Light, I could also see too from 72 Seasons being on here potentially because it's a decent song, but. Also the same thing with what's that one, like Sleepwalk My Life Away. Not a bad track, but I could see people going, But okay, so that's the list. Interesting. Man Unkind, Some Kind of Monster. It's a long thing there. Am I Savage? Darkness Had a Sun. Anesthesia Pulling Teeth. Cure. Makes sense. Dirty Window. Surprise. Shoot Me Again, Slither, and Poor Twisted Me. Did not expect Poor Twisted Me to end off here, but here we are with a 0 out of 10 over Poor Twisted Me. What did you guys think of this list here of top 10 worst Metallica songs? Do you agree with some of the choices? What would you list as your top 10 worst Metallica songs? And maybe one day I'll do a video of my own where I actually list off the top 10 worst Metallica songs in my opinion. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. I can already tell you right now, a lot of it's going to be St.Anger and some of the deeper tracks off of Reload potentially, but I don't know. Might have to do like a deep dive into this, and maybe I'll do this one day as my own kind of video, kind of making a video about it. But anyways, curious to know what you guys think in terms of the choices here and what are your thoughts on some of the choices. And let me know your thoughts and your top 10 worst Metallica songs, if you can list them, or top 5, whatever you want to do. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.